Still on.
Take it that was yours. There's one missing. You know,
You guys are welcome to use that. You're welcome to use that if you want to.
Keep it there, keep it so they don't get mixed up.
Yeah.
Otherwise they'll get mixed up, won't they?
Yeah.
So, you know, if you've got one or a couple, fine.
Okay everybody, good evening. So this is Pete W here for a special invitational event here between the OBF1 Racing League and the F1 Fast Life Racing League, whose league owners are Stay Invitational, and to the best of my knowledge I also believe H. Taylor is the league admin alongside Stay in this league. So we've organised this special event, and to see, as we've seen a lot of drivers from Stay's league come over to us, let's see who's going to be the best, who is going to be the fastest. We're going to have 20 drivers on the grid who are all now in the lobby, and very shortly we will be getting going. We're going to be doing a full qualifying session here today at the Bahrain International Circuit in Sakhir. We're going to have a full qualifying at 18, 15, 12 and then 50% race distance. As always, all of our applies are strict corner cutting, full damage, dynamic weather. So hopefully we're going to see some interesting battles here at the Bahrain International Circuit. We're going to now just send out the words to ready up. And I have got the live chat up, so yeah, let's see how it goes, Carl. Hopefully we're going to see some great action tonight. So yeah, we've got two relatively new leagues here. Obviously the OB F1 league still in its first season, as I do believe the F1 Fast Life league also is, but we've got some fantastic drivers in both leagues. I mean, the drivers that I'm going to be looking out for on the OB F1 side, I'm sure it's pretty obvious in that. For me, I'm looking forward to seeing how Max and Little Jim do, but also there are so many quality drivers in this field. There's not a single weak link in our 10. Now a lot of stage drivers are known to me, and the ones I'm going to be keeping an eye out for there are El Longo, H-Tay, and Ali Lambie, I believe his name is, who, if I remember correctly, was challenging H-Tay in their Drivers' Championship in their Friday Night League. So I'm having a look. I'm going to believe that to be Ali Lambie. So those are the drivers I'm going to be watching out for. Now, we're running a special 14 points paying positions for this league, for this evening. And the central idea is, at the end, whichever team has scored the most points wins. So there's 294 points available in this event. We're going to, like I said, we're playing top 14 positions, and the points are going to be 40 points for first, 33 for second, 28 for third, 25 for fourth, 22 for fifth, 19 for sixth, 16 points for seventh, 14 points for eighth, 12 points for ninth, 10 points for 10th, 8 points for 11th, 6 points for 12th, 13th will get 4 points, and 14th will get 2 points. There's also going to be that additional fastest lap 1 pointer, which will apply, I do believe, to any driver in a points paying position. So that is how it will effectively work. Now with that, 294 points are available, so basically the team that scores 148 points or more will win. It will be very interesting to see a potential draw, which is possible. 147 to 147 with even points, it's always possible. So the drivers are now in their garages. Now, I'm seeing some amazing car designs. Obviously, here in the OBF1 League, we've spent a lot of time developing our livery, and I'm looking at the one for the F1 Fast Life, and it's looking pretty good. I'm currently sitting in what would be the Mercedes-Benz garage, and it's looking hot. I'm loving the design here that these guys have got going. Now we've got our first car on track. Let's find out who this is. Who's gone out for an early one? Kieran Reese is the first driver on the track, and I did see Hawk Pie also leave. Is that Hawk Pie? I'm not sure actually, no. So we've got quite a few cars already hidden out, so we now got 3 OBF1 drivers and 2 F1 Fast Life drivers coming out for their starter. Kieran Marza, the rest, maybe he's going for 3 fast 3 sets, looking to just get a banker session in now. Now for me, what I love about Bahrain, it's, as you can see on the track map, it is vast majority high speed straights, sweeping fast corners. However, it's so different to such other tracks like Austria, like Monza. You really have got to get your downforce right, and especially around the decrepit turns 12 and 13, the fast speed chicanes. If you get on the inside of one of them, like turn 12, you're going to be in trouble. You're going to lose it, and chances are you're going to take someone with you. I've had a couple of times there having gone into a car, and right now we've got Kieran, who is about to start his final lap. So let's sit on board with Kieran for a while. Let's see what he can get out in this amazing livery, this amazing OBF1 livery. Good line there through turn 1, gets a bit of the curb, gets quite a bit of the curb coming through turn 1, but corrects it well as we head up towards turn 4. And they're getting on the curb well. And he's going to do a 28 flat in the first sector. Not a bad first sector at all there for the young Kieran Reese. Oh, as we see, he loses a little bit of the back there, a little bit of oversteer coming out of turns 7, I believe that is, and this is 8 and 9. And again, I think turn 9 is going to be the one, because obviously this is such a high downforce track, low downforce track, but that turn does require some immense concentration and downforce, which some of the cars just are not going to have. So let's see what is Kieran able to produce as he does invalidate his lap. So let's get on to let's sit on board with Max. I think for me, as the very proud owner of the OBF1 league, Max is my guy to watch out for. If I had to pick one driver in my league, it's going to be Max. He's aggressive, he's fast, he's proven he can fight through the field. When in Canada, even with a quali ban, he was able to come back. And okay, it was a de facto win because Jim had did take the check flag, but because of penalties, Jim came second. But to be able to do that, 22 drivers coming through Canada is not an easy feat on a 50% race. Now we saw there Max got a little bit out of shape coming through turn 9, didn't get as close to the curb as he might like. So, and with this track, every second counts, as we see Lou goes fastest with a 1:25.886. Now, are we going to see drivers going into, I know H Taylor was talking about, he's around the 1:25.2 mark, so let's see what is Max going to be putting here through his first lap. Is it going to be a provisional pole? Max is going to go 1:25.6. It's good enough for a provisional pole. I don't think it's going to be good enough for pole, but right now it is good enough. As I see, wow, I mean, I literally just called it H Tay saying he was doing a 1:25.2, and H Tay does a 1:25.2. An amazing first flying lap from H Taylor there. To take provisional pole, and I'm sure safe for the rest of the session. Now, one driver I'm quite surprised about is Ali Lambert, going quite slow. He is now done back straight, so he's done his flying lap and will be coming back in. But what's going to be a safe time here is what I'm wondering, because we've got a lot of fast drivers here. Like normally I would say around 1:27 is going to be safe, but in this build we've got so many incredible drivers, I really do not know. As I'm looking at Break FN's livery, this is incredible. I mean, there's so much graffiti on it. I think what I'm loving about these cars is how people are personalising them, but keeping them within the compliance of what we've required as a league. So who can I watch? I'm going to watch my fellow league head admin Stay. He's currently going through sector 2 and is as he gets a little bit out of shape there in coming out of turn 7 down to 8, gets on the brake nice and early, gets very close to the curb there, does have to adjust a little bit, I think a little bit of oversteer there which he had to adjust it for, but as he comes up towards the end of sector 2, what is his time going to be? Please excuse my burp there. We've got a slow moving car ahead of him, Ash getting out the way very amicably. A 1:05.2 there for Stay. It's not been the same without Stay in the OBF1 League. I always enjoyed his performances and looking forward to doing some comms on him tonight. Let's see how he does as he heads over the final corner. DRS on, and we're looking at a 1:26.5. A 1:26.5. So I'm looking at the top 10 at the moment, and it is, we've got I have on an out lap, we've got Little Jim. Little Jim is on a fast lap. Let's have a look at Little Jim's time. So we have currently only got 3 OBF1 drivers in the top 10, 7 F1 fast lap drivers in the top 10. We do still have 3 OBF1 drivers to set a time, but also only one what's the one for here? F1 fast life driver. So Little Jim, he's coming up to the final turn. He's gone purple in the second sector. I think that's worth noting. He has gone purple in the second sector. Good line there. Gets right nice next to the curb. Coming out of the last turn. DRS on. And what are we looking at here? We're looking at 1:25.4, which is going to be good enough currently for second place on the, and will be safe for the next round. So who have we got? Who are we going to follow now? We are going to follow let's follow he's as he gets a little bit out of shape there coming through turns 9 and 10. Good line. And again really seems to be struggling with his setup here on this lap. Will he keep going for it, or will he back off? A 1:04.87. Now if I do remember correctly, that was faster than Stay did. I think Stay did a 1:05.2. So let's see, where is he going to come in with this? We've got I've got many drivers on the track at the moment. As you can see, comes over the last, and he's going to set a 1:26.9. And what does Hawkpie do? Hawkpie, having invalidated his lap, has gone into the pits. So we are now 10 minutes into the first qualifying session, and for me, as I see H Taylor has left the session now, I'm presuming that's going to be a glitch. So I'm just going to drop H Taylor another invite. Obviously the point of this event is to have fun, and the race would not be the same without H Taylor. So having just sent H Taylor an invite back to the session, one of the great things as a commentator I'll actually be able to do, rather than just doing it whilst in the garage or AI in, something us league admins I'm sure are aware of happening way too often. So coming back, we have got 19 drivers who have set a time. Side of space 16 seconds off, so he will obviously be going again. But what do I think is safe here? I'm going on a 1:26 flat. Yeah, I think a 1:26 flat will be safe. So I think all of the drivers in the top 8 are safe. Everyone else not. We've got some very fast drivers down the grid. I mean, when I see the likes of Matt Chandler, who won the Delta Pace Division 2 League down in 13th at a track, he did so well at El Longo, who I know is a very fast driver, and Stay, who's got multiple podiums to his name when he was racing in the OBF1 League. I think a 1:26 flat is going to be safe. I think anything below that is going to be a case of you need to get out again, definitely. In this first session we will lose the bottom 5 drivers. Currently sitting in those positions are Hawkpie, who is yet to set a lap, Side of Space, Short Marcus, Kieran Reese, all of the OBF1 League, and David 1610 of the F1 Fast Life Racing League. So who have we got? Got Short Marcus. Short Marcus is on the flying lap. He is already nearly 6/10 of a second up in his first sector alone. Track will be warming up, it will be getting better grip, and because of that the drivers will be able to go faster, but like I said, I think Short Marcus needs about 2 seconds. Let's see, what can he do here? 1.2 up, having gone purple in the second sector, which if I'm right about drivers in the relegation zone, I mean he's above what is required to get out of the relegation zone, but doesn't necessarily mean it's the fastest second sector of quali. See a bit of a lock up there from Short Marcus, but does correct well, coming out the last corner, gets on the curb, and that is going to be a 126 flat, taking Short Marcus up to 7th. Fantastic effort there by the young man. So I'm going to sit on board now with Kieran Reese, and commentator's curse. Kieran loses it out of turn 9, catches him, and that is that for him. So let's sit on board with Hawk Pie. We've got a lot of drivers in the pits, only 7 on track, all of whom are the only drivers on a fast lap at the moment are Hawk Pie. Sorry, the rest are either on an out lap and in lap. As we can see, Stay Invitational has started a fast lap, so I'm going to sit on board with Stay. Let's see what he's able to do, because with Stay obviously we have a set point for comparison with Hawk Pie, having not set a fastest lap yet. We don't know how much faster he is than his previous time, so we'll sit on board with Stay, see how he does, and take it from there. So coming up to turn 4. And rounding the end of the first sector, it's going to be a 27.9, only 0.02 of a second up on his current fastest time, as he catches quite a bit of curb coming there through turn 6. Decent line there through turn 7. He's got another driver who's on a fast lap right behind him, his teammate David 1610, running quite a bit wide out of turn 9 as we head up towards turn 10 and the end of sector 2. Good line there, not catching too much curb, but does have to adjust his line coming out of turn 12, as we see Stay still now down on his time, so he's currently 0.2 of a second down on his time. What is David doing now? Stay has abandoned his lap, he knows he's not going to be able to improve, so he's moved out of the way for David, who does seem to be firing along here as he takes the last corner. Good line there from David as he heads towards the finish line. This is going to be a 126 flats again, like I'm saying, a 126.0. We've got 4 drivers within 400ths of a second of each other. This is going to be close. I mean, this is insane. So Hawk Pie did set his lap, he came in at a 126.9. Is he going again? He has invalidated, so let's see. We've got Side of Space right ahead of him, loving the colours on Side of Space's livery. As we've got 3 minutes left. Now, I'm quite surprised to see Ash, Stay, Martin in the pit lane. I think anyone Mitch and below. Oh, and we've got our first retirement out of turn 13. Hawk Pie has retired, so Hawk Pie will be eliminated out of the session. But Side of Space running wide out of turn 13 has invalidated his lap. So is he going to go again? Has he got the fuel? He would have done a 126.6. Would not have been good enough. It would have only got him up to 16th place. He's still going to need to improve. Let's see what he's capable of here. We'll stay on board with the driver at risk. Kieran's still in the pits. Will Kieran be heading out? He literally has 30 seconds, I would say, to get out and make sure he is able to complete another lap. So we've got Mitch on an out lap. Mitch not willing to take the chance. We've got Ash, Stay, Martin. As Cider loses it, coming and invalidates again. So I think that's goodbye Cider. I think Cider Space will be eliminated from this quali 1 here in the special invitational event between OBF1 and F1 fast pace. So just gonna load onto the comments. No comments as of yet, but I'm sure we will see some more coming through what should be his 2-hour session. So who are we gonna follow? I'm gonna have a watch on Annalyn. Currently 4 attempts up on sector 1. Sorry, on his last lap that would have been. So currently on a 126.2. that could be safe, but with 4 drivers to go and only one of them still in the pit, so El Longo thinking a 1:26.4 is going to be enough to get through to that session 2. He might be right. Am I risking it with 1, 2, 3, 4, 3 drivers below him? And I don't think I am. So let's see how it goes. El Longo staying in the pits, having retired from the session. He's counting on Ash, Stay, Matt not improving on their laps, because if they do, he's out. He only 2 of them need to. You can see Emilian has backed off of his second lap, so let's focus on Ash. Ash is now coming through turns 9 and 10, gets a little bit heavy there on the accelerator, but manages to correct in time. Where is he going to come out at the end of sector 2? Let's see what his time is. I do think from El Longo that was very ambitious. He's only separated from Stay and elimination by 0.06, and as we can see, Ash is now more tenths of a second up on his fastest lap, which will take him around the 1:26 mark, which is what I said would be safe. Comes through the last turn. I think Ash will be safe here. El Longo is the driver at risk with Matt Chandler having gone faster, and Ash has done so. El Longo is out. El Longo made the decision to stay in, but is out. So Stay still was 0.2 of a second down on his fastest lap. Side of space improving to 18th, but has been eliminated. Where is Kieran? Kieran, I do believe, is just behind Stay, so we're going to tune on with Kieran right after we see Stay across the line, who's currently sitting in 17th position here at the Bahrain International Circuit in Sakhir. What is this going to be? Is it going to be in the 1:26? It's 1:26.4, but it is not good enough. It's 37 thousandths of a second. Where is Kieran going to come? He was nearly a second up on his second sector. He's going to need to do a little bit more. What is he going to do? Okay, come on, Kieran. So I'm not being biased. He does it. So we have got our bottom 5 sorted, and it's the most even split you can have. It's 3 have been eliminated from OBF1 and 2 have been eliminated from the F1 Fast Life League. We can see Matt Chandler has invalidated, so qualifying is over. Top on the leaderboard is, with no surprise, HT on a 1:25.2, Little Jim a 1:25.4, Ale Lambe on a... Jody, I'm not being too loud, am I? If I I'll just... So we've got Ale Lambe in 3rd on a 1:25.5, Max in 4th on a 1:25.6, Lou in 5th with a 1:25.8. So that is quali 1 over, and what a session. So we will see Hulk Pie has been eliminated in 20th with a 1:26.9, Side of Space in 19th for a 1:26.8, El Longo choosing not to go out even on the faster, more grippier track for the F1 Fast Life Racing League on a 1:26.4, but only the gap between 18th and I believe it was 10th was only 0.4 of a second. It's incredible. I think this session is going to be even closer than the last one. So just to reconfirm, yeah, I mean, I'm looking at this, and Matt Chandler 1.1 seconds behind HT in 16th position, being eliminated. Stay Juventino just 37 thousandths of a second behind Matt, and El Longo just 14 thousandths of a second behind his head of league. Wow, I mean, that's so close. And I think, well, I'm looking at this, and 15th through 10th are only separated by a quarter of a second. We are in for what is going to be a very exciting Q2. I can't wait to see it. I hope you're all enjoying the commentary and the stream at home. See, we got a few viewers, so thank you very much for joining in, guys. Yeah, that was unlucky there, Carl. But look at this one. Things can only get better, and I'm sure the race will produce some fruits for you. So we are going to be getting going again with with qualifying 2 here at the Sakir International Circuit in Bahrain. 15 drivers remaining. This is the shootout for the top 10. So as we just saw there, Max got a really lovely slip off of Mitch there. Very nice of Mitch to give our championship leader on our Friday night leads that little bit of advantage. Now this will determine what tyres people will be starting on. Max is currently out, had to set a lap on the medium tyres. Getting that lap in, I'm sure he's not going to be considering it a banker lap. He is going to be going hard and he's going to want to push to make these tyres work. I believe the medium, the C3 around here, is about 9/10 of a second, no, 6 to 9/10 of a second slower around the track, so he's really going to have to push it here. But it all depends on what everyone else has picked. So a lot of drivers we're seeing are out on the mediums. And Max, I've noticed, has locked up outside, really trying to get every ounce of acceleration out of this vehicle and get that lap through. So a 105 flat for Max coming through sector 2. A fantastic line there through turn 13, something I would even be envious of. As coming down to the last corner, what is Max going to set as a standout time? Only driver ahead of him was Kieran Rees, and Kieran now visibly within Max's range on 131. That is so 126.4 for Max. A fantastic effort on the medium tyres there. Let's see what he's able to how that holds up. Now Short Marcus on the softs going on a 126.3. This is where strategy kind of comes into play, because you're going to have those faster drivers, you're going to have your H Taylors, you're going to have your Maxes and your Little Jims going out on the mediums, knowing that yeah, they've got that pace and they can afford to do that. However, let's remind ourselves there was only 0.8 of a second separating first and 10th, and if the medium tyres are a second a lap slower, well, we could see some shocks here. I mean, all of our drivers are pretty intelligent here, but this could be interesting as we see David going in with a 127.2, 0.8 of a second behind Max. So who to follow? I'm going to follow. So let's sit on board with Brake actually. Brake, a regular in the F1 Fast Life League, was raced in the OBF1 League a few times and decided, I guess, not for him. And but great to see him back on the tracks that I'm able to commentate on and view his racing, because he is a spectacular talent break. I think most of the drivers here are fantastic talents. I think that's why they've been picked. I mean, once they announced to me his drivers list and the drivers he was going for, I decided, okay, well, you're going for your best, I'm going to go for my best. So it is the creme de la creme of the two leagues. Now, guys, I'm going to be right back because I can see H. Taylor has disconnected again, so I'm just going to drop him a few invites so that he can get back into the session. Okay, thanks, guys. I'll be right back once Breaker set this up. As he comes across the line, what is it going to be? It's not going to be fastest. It's going to be 126.9. Currently good enough for 4th place and only 0.3 of a second behind F1MD Ale Lambe. See, CDM has retired. CDM has retired. What happened there? I'm not quite sure what happened there. It looks like CDM's lost it out of 10. Out of 10, 13, he must have got on the curves and has lost it out of those turns, and so CDM will be starting at the back of the grid. I'll be right back, guys. Hey guys, okay, sorry about that. So I am back. Hope you are enjoying the comms so far and the broadcast of this special invitational event between the F1 Fast Life Racing League and the OBF1 Racing League. Currently got, how long have we got left? We've got 6.5 minutes left of Q2. You can see who are the drivers currently at risk. So CDM is out. He has retired and currently at risk Kieran, I have Mitch and HT. Now I know HT is having connection issues, so I'm sure he'll be out, and he's back and he's on an outlap, as are Mitch and I have, who have yet set their times. So let's see how this goes. We've got, currently the split is 7 OBF1 drivers left, 8 F1 Fast Life drivers left, and we have lost one of the OBF1 drivers since CDM having retired. So as Kieran loses it out of turn 7 and has also retired on his fast lap, so Kieran will be starting, actually with Kieran will be starting in 14th, CDM in 15th. The drivers trying to find as much as they can in these tracks and pushing themselves to the absolute limit. Unfortunately, so unfortunate. Right, guys, I'm going to be right back. I'm going to set up a party track, so I'm going to start some of the drivers as we go into go into quali 3. Hopefully looking to stay on the line for a couple of minutes and see if we can have a little chat about the two leagues. Yeah, so I'm going to be right back. Mitch currently on his fast lap, so him and I have currently in the drop zone but haven't yet set their laps. Let's see how they do. So Mitch coming through the end of sector 2 here. What's Mitch going to produce here? It's going to be on the 105s without a doubt. 105.288. That's going to be that is a very, very good second sector. I think Mitch is only going to have the one run. He is running low on fuel. Is this going to be enough? I mean, Short Marcus going fastest with a 125.8. Obviously, once again, tyre compounds are playing a factor here. What is Mitch going to come over the line with? A 126.706 for them on the medium tyres with Mitch. Currently good enough for 6th place. Is that going to be good enough to save him? He's currently half a second up on David in 9th. Mitch is not going to be able to get another lap in. He's going to have to get back quickly and get back out. So guys, I'm very happy to welcome here in the comms box. We've got Kieran joining me for a very quick chat there. So Kieran, unfortunately, did retire out of his session. We were on board with you, Kieran, when you lost it coming out of turn 6. What happened there, mate? Was it downforce or was it just a bit of caught too much of the curb?
Just caught a bit too much of the curb and got a bit too happy with the throttle.
It's happened to the best of us, mate. I think I had it coming off there only a couple of weeks ago when I was doing a career my team race, so I know exactly how that feels. But how are you feeling about the race today?
Well, I got a free choice of tyres now, so I'm feeling pretty confident about it.
Yep. What do you think the strategy is going to be looking like? I mean, for me, like I kind of feel like as a king of saving, you can get onto the you can make this a one-stopper, soft to medium, if you are able to save the tyres. But having that free choice, having those fresh tyres that you won't have in Q3, because obviously you start on the fastest tyres, it is going to play handy. I mean, you've got 3 laps there of additional tyre wear, and it's a 26 lap race, so it's a big difference, isn't it?
It is.
But
I was thinking about hards. I was starting hards. I know it's slower, but I can make them last and either go on medium to try and make the one stop on softs.
Well, best of luck to you, Kieran. Obviously, as the commentator here, I'm not going to be offering any tactical advice. So I wish you the best of luck. Thank you so much for joining me. And come on, let's be honest. Who do you think is going to win? Who's going to be our drivers to look out for?
At the minute, the drivers to look out for, obviously we've got Short Marcus on pole at the minute. But I think a little Jim, Max, obviously they're the top in our league at the minute.
Yep.
So I'm not sure who's top in the other league, but I know Max and Jim, possibly Mitch as well from our league. They're ones to look out for.
Definitely. Well, thank you so much for joining me, Kieran. It's been a pleasure having you. Best of luck in the race. I'm sure you're going to do brilliantly, mate. We wouldn't have had you involved in this if we didn't think you were capable of getting a good points finish. So I wish you the best of luck, my friend. And yeah, good luck in the race, mate.
Cheers, mate.
No worries, buddy.
Enjoy the race. Obviously, a good show.
Oh, I will do. I will do. Take care, mate. Have a good one.
You too, mate. See you.
Bye.
Bye.
So that was Kieran's. We had got a little bit of throttle happy there, coming through turns 5 and 6, which ultimately ended in his retirement. Now we've only got 25 seconds left of the session. Every driver in the pits, I believe, quali is over, guys, and we are going to be losing 3 F1 fast life drivers in Ashwitz, Oskita and David, as well as Kieran and CDM JW, who both retired earlier on in the session. So we're going to have a 5-5 split in the top 10. It's Lou Short Marcus and Amin 69 Leon will be starting on the softs, but Max, Ade Lambe, HT, Little Jim, Mitch Brake and I have, who have all qualified in the top 10, will be starting on the mediums. That could be crucial. Could be allow them a much later. It's going to allow a much later pit stop because of the higher tyre deck that is associated with the soft tyres here at Abu Dhabi. Obviously, fast pace, high speed corners will take it out the tyres. So, just to reconfirm, CDM, Kieran, David, Oskit, and Ashwitz, 5 drivers eliminated from Quali 2. So, just staying on board with So we are now down to the final 12, the final 10 even, sorry, and it is a 5-5 split between the F1 Fast Life League and the OB F1 Racing League. So who are going to be the guys for pole? From what I've seen, I think it's going to be between Max, Ale Lambe, H Taylor and Little Jim. How close it's going to be, we'll see. But we can now see H Taylor is heading out for his lap. First driver out. So this session being just a 12-minute session, how many goes are the guys going to have? Is it going to be putting everything into one, or is it going to be going for 2? I personally, on quali 3, prefer to go for 2 laps on 1 set of tyres. I don't know why. I've considered the first lap my bank lap. I am pushing hard, but I consider my first lap to be the banker lap, going hard, and then as long as I set it, then I'm going all out on the second lap, and normally that pushes me right up. I can normally, if I say set 8th in my first lap, I'm going 3rd in my second lap, as long as I don't screw up. But yeah, I think let's see what the guys do here. We still only got 1 driver in the pits, and that is Amin 69 Leon. So we've got another comment here. I'm just going to log back onto the stream and see what we've got going here. Thanks so much guys for tuning in. I hope you are enjoying this coverage. Have a quick look what we got here. Don't worry about it, Kieran. It's happened to the best of us, so that was not too terrible. I think it would have been worse to have seen CDMs like where he came off, to be honest. I know he lost it out of turn 13 just because of where he came off, but how he ended up where he did, I've definitely seen worse, so don't worry about that. So let's focus on H Taylor's lap, getting a nice little bit of slipstream off of his teammate, even though he was not going fast. Obviously the reduction in wind hitting you is a massive benefactor. Now HT going, I believe he's actually the first driver out, so he is going purple in the second sector. But what is going to be what is HT going to do now? I'm thinking pole's going to be around a 125 flat here. We've got a lot of drivers on fast laps here. HT, what is he going to set? He's gone 125.3, so not as good as his first time, his first lap. I don't think it's going to be good enough yet. Everyone is going to be going for hards. Little Jim does pit HT. Now that for Little Jim is going to be crucial. I know he wanted to get the jump on HT for pole, and he's done that. Provisional pole. We've got 5 drivers having set times all within half a second. 6 drivers having set times within half a second of each other. This is immense. I'm going to be right back, guys. So I want to thank everyone for tuning in. Now Max has popped up a 125.212, going faster than Jim by only 600ths of a second. Let's get on board with It's Lou. Lou is coming through his second sector now, coming through to the end of the second sector. Let's see what you're able to set here, Lou. Lou, one of the drivers in the OBF1 League, also racing in Stays League and primarily raced for Stays League, hence why he is representing the F1 Fast Life League today. Quick driver, solid, and has got some very good pace, especially around this track. So let's see what is Lou going to be able to produce, not just in Q3 but today. He's going to go over the line. He's got a 125.9, currently only good enough for 9th place, but still a good finish there from Lou. Sure, he's going to be out again and wanting to improve on that, but not a bad lap. So all 9 drivers currently out on track or have set a lap are within 7/10 of each other. I mean, on an 85-second circuit, it's pretty gone up fast, so well done to them. Because see, I think Amin has done what I would actually do, coming out a little bit earlier, and if I'm not wrong, I think he's going to go for those 2 laps. A little bit of wear on the tyres, which sometimes really helps. Just wearing them in a bit can really help. So let's see what Amin will be able to produce now. Lou is still out, but he is not on a fast lap, so Amin is the only driver we've currently got out on a lap, so to speak, but he is just warming up. So we've got 5 minutes and 55 seconds as I started saying that, and currently we are led and drilled by Max, followed by Little Jim, followed by HT, followed by Adelambe. Funny enough, the 4 drivers I predicted might be towards the top of the timetables. So let's see what happens in the second stint. I'm sure the drivers will be coming out pretty shortly. They're not going to want to come out too quickly. I'm imagining the drivers will be coming out, if it was me, I'd be coming out with about 2.5 minutes to 2 minutes, depending on where in the pit lane I am. Because obviously you don't want to be, like it's happened to me a couple of times, coming over the checker flag with after 2 seconds after quality has finished. Unfortunately, it has happened. It will happen. As we can see, Amin has now started his fast lap. So let's see what Amin is able to set through sector 1. He's going to be on a 27.7. Not overly competitive in my eyes, but let's see. I've got a better idea around sector 2. Good line there through the chicane. Locks up heavily there through turns 9 and 10. Hopefully that didn't cost him too much time as he comes down to the DRS straight into turn 11. Looking up once again, really trying to get everything out of his car. A 104, so he's in the 104s for sector 2. I have a feeling it's going to be quick. Let's see what we're dealing with him. 117 coming up to the final corner, and again another lock up. And comes over the line. This is going to be a 126.1, so currently only good enough for 10th place and only setting the 1 lap. He's already abandoned another attempt and has decided that's enough. I mean, maybe he's looking to just do a slow lap and then come back around, but we will see. So I'm going to sit on board with Mitch. Mitch will be the next driver to cross the line on a fast lap. So let's see how Mitch does now. According to my Delta, he actually tied his time in sector 1. And so let's see how he does through sector 2. Fantastic line there through turns 11, 12. Sweeping fast right hander, and he's currently 0.9 of a second up on his fastest lap. What is he going to be able to produce coming through the final turns? Good line there, just clipping the curb, not too much, there's no to impede his final lap, and decides to bail. I guess he's coming in. He was like, okay, I don't think I'm going to set as amazing time as I can. I'm coming in, I'm going to change, and I'm going back up. So Mitch's going to do 3 runs. I imagine he's going to be out very shortly. The solo shot Marcus, who did get fastest last sector, last quali, sorry, but that was with a tyre dependency. As we see Break FN splitting Little Jim, and Max going 5,000 of a second ahead of Little Jim. So let's see how he manages there. Now Short Marcus currently down on his fastest lap as he runs wide and invalidates that lap. So Break now taking a rest. He's done his work and is going to enjoy that. So we're going to sit on board with who I believe to be one of the championship leaders in the F1 Fast Life Racing League, Ale Lambe. He's going to want to produce a better performance than qualifying in 5th, I can be sure of that. So let's see how is Ale able to do. Coming into the last 90 seconds of quali. Now Mitch, surprisingly, has just come out on that lap. He is going to have to get out and get out quick, hopefully crossing the line just before the checker flag comes down. But we'll sit on board with Ale Lambe to see how he does, locking up heavily into turn 1 and compromising his position into turn 2. Decent line there, but getting a bit of curve out of turn 3 down to turn 4. Nice line there, not taking any curve but getting as much width as possible. And his first sector time, no improvement there, currently 0.04 of a second down on his fastest lap. Now the all important sharp left-hander turns 8 and 9. Not connecting to the inside as he probably needed to. This will be his last lap. Let's see what he's able to produce. But right now it's not looking spectacular. You can see a yellow flag in sector 3, but that was just a slow moving car. I don't think any cars want to be moving slowly around this time. We are very close to the end of quality. Ale Lambe 0.1514 of a second up on his fast lap. That currently is going to be good enough for 4th place with HT on his outlap, but he's got some work to do in this final sector. Great line there through the final turn. What's this going to be for Ale Lambe? Currently sitting in 5th position. Is he going to improve? Yes, he is, and goes provisional pole with a 1:24.979. He found 4/10 of a second in that final sector. An amazing performance there by Ale Lambe to go be the first driver in this session to go sub 125. Let's set on board with Max, our former provisional pole holder. What is he able to produce here? Only 0.06 of a second up on his fastest lap. He needs to find another 0.2 of a second, or Ale Lambe is more than likely to sit on provisional pole or sit on pole for this race between the OB F1 Racing League and the F1 Fast Life Racing League. What is Max going to produce here? A 1:25.05. Good enough for second right now. Let's sit on board with Little Jim, probably the only other contender here for poles. You see I have crossed the line. He's going to start in 5th currently on a 1:25.283. Little Jim coming around the last corner. What is Little Jim going to be able to produce here? Is he going to be able to snatch pole back for the ABF1 Racing League? Let's see, a 1:25.065, only good enough for 1st place. Now HT, we've got to focus on HT here. What is he going to be able to produce coming through the final 2 turns? Is this going to be an improvement for HT? It's going to be a 1:25.035, good enough for second, 17,000ths of a second ahead of Max, and that is quali over. So F1 Fast Life currently having the upper hand, but as we all know, a race is not won in quali, and the top 4 drivers are separated by less than a 1/10 of a second. A fantastic effort there by all drivers involved. So very shortly we will be getting going with the race here at the Bahrain International Circuit. So as we can see, Ale Lambe saving the best to last on 1:24.9, good enough to secure pole. H Taylor is second, Max and Little Jim for the OBF1 League in third and fourth, Break FN in fifth, iHarv in sixth, Mitch in seventh, Short Marcus in eighth, Itzlo in ninth, and Mean 69 Leon in 10th. Now gonna wait to see if there is a formation lap. If there is, I'm going to take a very quick bathroom break, and then we will be back for the 50% race here at the Sakir International Circuit in Bahrain for this special invitational event between the OBF1 Racing League and the F1 Fast Life Racing League. Just wait for all the players to sign up now. The drivers will be choosing their strategies and what tyres they're starting on. This could be an interesting choice, as we heard Kieran say in the commentary box earlier. He's thinking of starting on the hard tyres, which, like I said, I will not commentate on strategies. Every driver has their own choice. I will once they've all been fixed in. So let's see what the drivers choose. I'm imagining most of the drivers outside of the top 10 will choose to start on the mediums. It is obviously the much longer lasting tyre, and everyone outside the top 10 will have a fresh set of tyres to start on. So the session will be getting started in just a few seconds. The drivers finalising their setups, and do we have a formation lap? I do believe so. This does look like a formation lap. Yep. Okay, so guys, I will be right back. Thank you very much. Hi guys, I am back, so let's get everything set up here, ready to go for the race. So as we can see, F1 MD Ale Lambe really racing off to the front now. Our predicted pit stop strategies as powered by AWS, so we're looking one stop medium to hard, or medium soft medium, or soft medium. So let's see how the tyres work out and what are we looking at in terms of tyre strategy. So we have got a couple of drivers who have chose to start on the high tyres, stay in 17th and now longer in 18th. I personally, I'm not starting on the hards, because say there's a turn 1 incident and the further back you are, the more likely it is going to happen. You've then utilised your longest set of tyres, so you're committing yourself to a potentially a 3-stop strategy. So you can see most of the drivers are starting on the mediums. Just 3 drivers compulsory starts on the softs. Short Marcus, Itzlu and Amin having qualified on the softs in Q2 and making it through to Q3. But the vast 15 of our 20 drivers starting on the mediums, and 2 drivers El Longo and Stay starting on the hard. So we're now coming around to the final turn. As we can see, iHarv and Little Jim have been disqualified and presuming for contact in the formation lap. That is a disaster for the 2 OBF1 drivers. Last thing you want is forgetting to colliding with a teammate, but in an event like this where points are really going to matter, let's see how this affects the 2 drivers as they start on rubber cold bare tyres. So we will shortly be getting going here at the Sakir International Circuit in Bahrain for this special invitational event between the OBF1 Racing League and the F1 Fast Life Racing League. Hopefully the first of many. Let's see how this goes. Well, the drivers are getting ready, so let's sit on board. I always like to sit on board with driver 2, who is H Taylor. I will replace this, okay?
What?
I will replace this. I'm just going to have a couple of drinks, but I will replace it tonight, okay? So, as we're going to get going, we have now 5 lights, and we are at go here at the Secure International Circuit in Bahrain. H. Taylor gets a flying start right alongside his teammate already, and we got Max right alongside in between the two F1 Fast Life Racing drivers going into turn 1, and H. Taylor takes the lead. There's a bit of contact there between Max and F1 Ale Lambe, but Max staying on board with HT as we head up towards turn 4 of lap 1 here. No collisions, it looks like, going through turn 1. Some great driving there by all 20 drivers. Okay. You can say that again. See, Little Jim has dropped a few positions, having qualified in 4th. As we can see, Ade Lambe outbraking himself into turn 4. Is that going to make it susceptible to short Marcus on the soft tyres now? Let's have a look at position changes. Who's up, who's down? Short Marcus having already gained 4 places. Itzlu has gained 3 places. Stay has dropped down to Diplom last. As we see El Longa already picking up a 3-second penalty for corner cutting. Less than 10 corners in and already having cut 3 corners. This seeming to want to play the long game with the hard tyres, but not able to keep up the drivers on them. El Longa and Stay having dropped back and picked up a penalty. So Short Marcus and Itzlu up 4th places on their faster soft tyres to 4th and 5th, and we've got a yellow flag. There is a car off, and that's Kieran out of the race, and we have got a safety car on lap 1. There's a safety car on lap 1, and drivers are I thought that was a very, very cheeky there from H. Taylor. I thought he was diving into the pits there. I'm glad to see. Well, we've got a couple of drivers pitting now in Ostica and Leon. If I was a driver on the softs, I think I would be pitting, because the softs are only going to last, say, 8 or 9 laps, and it would have been advantageous to pit now. Hi guys, sorry about that. So I am commentating from my kitchen, so just bear with me. If I do get any interruptions, I will just unmute my mic. But we are now currently under safety car regs, and with one driver out in Kieran. Very unfortunate there, but yeah. Perhaps I should have left my microphone on for that. We were discussing the Monaco GP, Hamilton Verstappen. I'm sure a conversation Little Jim would have loved to have listened into as a Verstappen fan. But yes, so we're currently moving on to lap 3. Are any more drivers going to choose to stop? Like I said, if I was on the softs, as HT puts it on the grass a little bit there, that could have been interesting, obviously laying off the throttle there, but so let's get some stats. Okay, so Amin has pitted onto the hards. I'm not sure I agree with his strategy, because if I remember correctly, Amin started on the softs, which he did because he was in the top 10. He qualified on the softs. I would have done medium, because hards are going to only get you so far. They're not going to get you the entirety of the race, unless there are, I'd say, 3 safety cars. I think that's a big gamble, especially with the delta difference. They're not going to be quicker on this track, as we've seen from Stay and El Longo. El Longo in 15th, Stay in 17th, they weren't able to compete with the medium tyres. There was going to be a huge delta difference. Now I'm imagining the safety car will be coming in at the end of this lap. We will get confirmation of this, and then we're going to get racing again. Now I know team orders shouldn't play here, but when it's a 10 versus 10, you're going to have party chats. I'm wondering what Short Marcus is going to do, because Little Jim and Max have been identified as the likeliest race winners for the OBF1 Racing League. Rightly so. They qualified in the top 4. They are the leaders of both of our championships. As we get confirmation the safety car is in this lap, so HT will be our de facto safety car. So I know HT likes to buzz the pack up, and the drivers, all of the drivers here have unfortunately raced against HT, will be aware of this tactic. Max keeping the world clear of HT. I'm going to sit on board with Adelamba, who will be able to see the action here. Max very eager to get on the throttle, and is HT going to put it down? Not yet, not yet. Oh, as HT goes down, HT has gone, HT has gone. Is Max able to, as we are now back to green flag racing here at the OBF1 F1 Fast Life Racing League Invitational special event, going down into turn 1 of lap 4. Max not able to make a move on HT, but staying very close. Little Jim alongside Lou, who's going to get it out of turn 4. Little Jim's got better traction there, and it's able to make the move. Now we've got Mitch. Let's watch Mitch. Oh, Mitch very wide then, having to adjust as brake goes into the back of its Lou. Is that going to give him wing damage? I'm not sure. I can't see at the angle. It does not look like it though. So it's Lou now up to 6th. Now, did I see a car having spun around? No, I did not. Okay, it does look like Emilion is well behind. No, he has dropped well back, so maybe he lost it out of turns 1 and 2. So currently we've got HT in first, Max in second, Adelambe in third. Now let's have a look for the gaps. Some very close gaps here. We're going to have some, I think we're going to have a bit of a DRS train going forward. For, like I said, 14 points paying positions out of 20 drivers. 4 of the drivers not scoring points are F1 Fast Life drivers. 2 are OBF1 drivers in Hawkpie and Kieran, who is unfortunately retired from the race. Lou running a little bit wide there, having tried to make a bit of a move, but let's sit on board with Max now. I want to sit on board with Max, who has just set the fastest lap of the race, having gained a slight amount of time on HT. But again, Max playing the patient game. He knows he doesn't need to make the move just yet, but it's exhilarating to see these two drivers, because Max only really racing on Fridays, HT a Wednesday driver for the OBF1 League, as well as racing on Fridays for F1 Fast Life. It's great to see these guys having an upfront battle, as we can see. Now I want interval, I don't want leader. So yeah, so we've still got a DRS train going, well, an effective DRS train going all the way down to 15th. El Longo being the last driver who may have DRS capabilities. Hawkpie 1.3 seconds behind El Longo, but we'll have Oskit and Stay Juventino with it in his DRS range. But will they be able to make the harder? Will Stay be able to make the harder tyres work for him with DRS, because they are quite disadvantageous in terms of speed? So have we got any really close battles? I think this is actually the closest battle on track right now, besides the battle for 16th position. So we're going to stay on board with Max and H Taylor, who are pulling away from Adelambe, and Short Marcus doing a great job holding up in 4th. I'm imagining he's going to be starting to feel the effects of tyre deg. Now where is HT in terms of ERS? HT has still got 75% ERS. This is incredible driving by the F1 Fast Life racing driver. But key, we will have DRS from this lap. DRS has now been enabled for the first time in the race on lap 6. And Max, how much is he going to be able to utilise this? I don't see him trying to make the immediate overtake. I think he's going to do what so many of the esports drivers do: sit behind, conserve his ERS, and then go for the move later on in the race. He knows he's as quick as HT. He's got the fastest lap of the race. He does not need to make that move unless he's being attacked. And Ale Larbe is currently sitting half a second behind him. Now that might not sound like a lot, but in these cars, that is 2 laps of gaining. As we can see, Max getting a slightly better line out of, and we've got Emilion has lost it through turn 7 and 8, has fallen well back. This race not going well for the driver, and he has left the session, which means he will not be participating unless he gets a re-invite. I unfortunately am not able to send this to him because he is not on my friends list. So let's continue with the battle for first position, the closest battle on the track. HT taking a very wide line into the corner as he likes to do, and it works for him. So let's see what is Max going to do. He's got overtake off. He's turned overtake off. He's got DRS, and he has made the move on HT. Wow, I mean the top 5 are really working their socks off here. Question is going to be for me, all of the drivers in the top 5 are on mediums for size Short Marcus. Is Short Marcus going to allow his teammate Little Jim, who is a very fast driver, currently leader in our Wednesday league, currently second in our Friday league, is he going to allow Little Jim past without too much kerfuffle? Because Short Marcus, having qualified on these softs are 10 laps old, they are going to be feeling tired egg, and Jim is going to want to get on and battle these drivers for the podium positions. As a reminder, we will be paid 40 points for the win, 33 for second, 28 for third. It's a huge difference here, and as we can see, a gap is starting to form. Max has already broken DRS range on HT and has still got an impressive amount of DRS left. I know when I make the move for the lead, I'm draining it, but he's used 25% cumulatively. I moved him about 60 to 70, so that is some fantastic driving there. But HT has managed to get within DRS range for the long straights. Obviously, you are bound once you go through the green point on the full track map in sector 3. If you are within 1 second of that, you'll get in DRS for the basically the entirety of the first sector, so it's huge, hence why you need to floor it as we come along. And I stand corrected. So Max has pulled it out. He has utilised his ERS to combat HT's DRS. As we can see the difference there, 14 to 57. F1 Ale Lambe is right on the wings of HT, who's had to go wide out of turns 5 and 6, and Ale Lambe has made the move. HT now under pressure from Little Jim. I want to watch this battle. This is a fantastic battle. Now Max has got a commanding 2.3 second lead over F1 Ale Lambe as HT runs wide, battling his teammate into turns 9 and 10. Both of whom will... HT really struggling out of these corners. HT really seems to be struggling on these medium tyres as he's gone AI. HT went AI very shortly there. I'm not quite sure why, but he's back with her. And Little Jim is now up into third. He will have DRS on Ale Lambe. Matt's continuing to extend his lead. 2.5 seconds nearly by the F1 OB racing driver. A fantastic performance here. Jim, is he going to... He's not going to be within DRS range. Ale Lambe must be... The only reason I can put behind Ale Lambe gaining time on that straight is he's running less downforce. We know Jim is fast and he's fantastic, and he runs a lot of downforce to kind of slipstream that. We've got Short Marcus and HT both on the wing of Little Jim, but Little Jim holding them off. Short Marcus nearly losing it out of turn 3, which is going to cost him some time. Jim is going to be desperate to get within the DRS range of Ale Lambe. Oh my god, commentators curse. Ale Lambe spins out of turn 6, sorry, and drops all the way out of the top 10. So now we have got Max in first, 4 seconds clear of Little Jim. HT just half a second behind Little Jim and is going to now need to make up for that. We have currently got only four drivers of the F1 Fast Life Racing League in the top 10. It's a 6-4 split, but the crucial point is there is only one driver for the F1 Fast League on the podium right now, and that is HT, who is sitting behind Little Jim. Now, we have seen these guys battle all season in the OB F1 Racing League, and we know they battle hard. But I know Little Jim will be thinking, I've got to hold HT up here, because if I can hold him up and Max gets the 40 points of the win, that is going to be a big accomplishment towards getting the 148 points we need to win this event. So, is Jim going to be playing the defensive game? Let's see. But we're not seeing many battles on track, and with that in mind, I will be right back, guys. Just bear with me, continue enjoying watching the stream. Thank you so much. Right, guys, I am back now. We're starting to see the penalties rack up. We've got a few drivers who have already pitted now. Let's have a look at the pit stop strat. So stops, we've got short markers, it's Lou and Mion who pitted early, and Ostikacher who's pitted. Now, what did he pit onto? He is on a lap old medium, so he will be starting to feel there as H. Taylor's left the session. Now, I can invite and will, out of good sponsorship, invite H. Taylor back to the session. I have dropped him a few invites, but we will send another one now. However, this is going to allow Little Jim to start putting a bit of a lead out on HT. Unfortunately, HT connection, I think he's going to be wanting to have a word with his family there to upgrade the package, but still some great racing by the young man. And yeah, the fact I was finishing my GCSEs and his mummy was pregnant, judging by his PSN ID, yeah, it's quite impressive. So we're now looking at a lap 12 to 14 medium one stop strategy. So those drivers who have pitted onto the softer, who have started on a soft tyre, now looking to pit onto the mediums, will be able to go one stop. However, that does not apply, and those drivers who will be contemplating it, I mean, they would probably be switching to, who are on the mediums now will be contemplating a switch to the hards to see the rest of the race. Personally, I'm not a fan of the hards on this track. They're too slow. They are just too slow for me. So sorry guys, I've just got a message from a friend who's saying she's still watching me, so thank you for tuning in and watching, Rachel. We are currently on lap 12 of 29 at the OB F1 versus F1 Fast Life Invitational League special event. It's been some fantastic action. Max out in front by over 5 seconds. Welcome back HT, who has just been passed by his teammate Break. Now, I think obviously team order is going to be heavily in place here. It will be heavily in place as Max rejoins, as HT rejoins his car. So I'm quite intrigued to see what's going to happen here between HT and Mitch, as well as HT and Break. Will Break once HT regains full control of his car, look to let HT pass. Now, if I'm not wrong, HT is now back. Yep, he is back. He has just lost position 2. As we see several drivers picking up penalties for pitting in the pit lane. But as we stand right now, well, a lot of drivers are waiting to pit. But Brake in the lead, Mitch second, HT third, Ash in fourth, Oskitz in fifth, Stay is 6th, 7th is Longo, Max is 8th, Little Jim is 9th, Short Marcus is 10th, Hookpie 11th, Lou is now in 12th, CDM in 13th, F1 Adelambe having just pitted on Shahaz in 14th, iHarb in 15th, M Chandler 16th, David 17th, Cider in 18th, I'm in 69, Leon in 19th. Some fantastic racing here, guys. I must admit, I'm really enjoying this race. Please excuse me, guys. I do have the giggles, the hiccups even, so sorry about that. Now, I'm kind of imagining the top 5 will be pitting in the next lap or 2. Obviously, Oskit changed onto his medium tyres during the safety car period, so he may look to make his last a bit longer. And I do think, now the thing I'm worried about here, obviously you don't know who your teammate is, so are we going to have double stacking? Is the question. Let's see. I'm going to sit on board, I'm sitting on board with HTA. No. Good. That is the one thing that I hate about these, and when it comes to racing, I think it's always advisable that we have a situation where we know who's going to be in what designated pit garage. Ways to work on that, but we are currently 14 laps in. Ashfit's currently in first. Stay holding out on those hard tyres up to second. And Oskit having now pitted onto the hard tyres for the rest of the way. Now, I'm not sure he needed to do that. I probably would have gone for the mediums, because those mediums can last 15 laps. They can around this track, so but I'm going to always, we see Matt Chandler go very wide. I want to focus on the battle between Max and Stay. Wow, Max just having so much more, as Hawkpie and Adelambe getting 3-second penalties around the same corner consecutively now. And let's sit on board with Stay here, the league owner of the F1 Fireside Red League, doing a fantastic job here. Obviously, Stay does still need to pit. However, he's going to have much fresher and faster tyres. I don't know if he's going to go for a hard soft or a hard medium switch. We will see. But as we see, Max setting the fastest lap of the race at 1:29.565. Stay right on his rear wing now, and he's going to want to try. He's going to make Max work to hold that lead. This is a team event, and he's going to want to try and force Max into a mistake. I am sure. Hawkpie getting a 5-second penalty for speeding in the pit lane, something we've seen quite sometimes on the OBF1 Racing League here. But Stay not being able to keep up with Max, already out of DRS range, and Max pulling away and progressing to what I think is going to be a comfortable victory for the OBF1 racing driver. Commentator's curse. However, I've given it to Max a few times and he's never succumbed to it, so let's see how he does. But he is pulling away from Stay. Little Jim is now catching up with Stay. I'm not going to focus on Little Jim simply because his rev engine is a little bit out. It's a Codemaster glitch, but yeah, can't do that. So going to focus on El Longo, who's just 1.2 seconds behind Little Jim. Jim being 1.2 seconds behind Stay, so we'll not get any DRS. But I think I want to focus on this battle for 5th. Brake, well, de facto 5th. We've still got 2 drivers who need to pit in Stay and Longo, but Short Marcus and Brake, so potentially competing for the final podium position. Brake, however, will have DRS on Short Marcus until he gets past Short Marcus. Short Marcus driving fantastically here. I mean, he's driving on a new setup he's only had for 1 week and is effectively in a podium position here. Him, Little Jim and Short and himself in the podium positions for OBF1. Now I'm looking out for HT, who's 3.7 seconds, no, so 2.7 seconds behind Break and 3.1 seconds behind Short Marcus. Now, what happened to HT there? Because he wasn't too far behind Little Jim, and now finds himself. Let's get the gaps up. Now finds himself 7 seconds behind Little Jim, our league deputy head and leader of the Wednesday night racing league. This is surprising, but looking at the board as it stands currently, Max is sitting in first, Stay is second for the F1 Fast Life Racing League, Little Jim is third for the OBF1 League, Al Longo is fourth for the F1 Fast Life, Short Marcus 5th, Break in 6th, HT in 7th. I'm thinking maybe Break and HT double stacked, and that's where he's lost his time. Mitch is right on the back of HT, and one thing you can be sure about Mitch, he's a fair racer, but he's a hard racer, and he is not going to let this drop. Hawk Pie having left the session, having DNF'd, unfortunately there for Hawk Pie, but Mitch getting the DRS, not using the DRS but getting the DRS on HT. He moves to the outside of turn 1. Is he going to go for the cutback? No, he's not. He's going to battle hard into turn 1, but plenty of respect there between the two racers, having raced together several times in the OBF1 Wednesday League. HT moving to the outside to defend, Mitch going for the inside, not being able to make it hold, but obviously as you go into the inside you do have to be aware of your braking points. All of these drivers are going to be racing hard but fairly. We've got a bit of a train behind Short Marcus here. Short Marcus doing, I don't want to say a fantastic me job of defending, but he's doing a fantastic me job of defending here. He's holding off Break, he's holding off Longo, he's doing the best he can to keep the OBF1 drivers in contention, which is sometimes what you need when you're running a 10-man team. You need drivers to hold the others up. As we see, Break does get the inside line there on Short Marcus going into turn 11. However, Marcus getting a much better exit out of it and holding on to fourth. Currently, we're now seeing a bit of a train form behind Marcus. I mean, I'm looking, 3 seconds between 7 drivers as we see. What's going on here? Short Marcus really losing throttle there. I think he went for the undercut but was not successful. However, he is going to have DRS on Break. Is he going to make this utilise? He's not got his DRS on. He's now turned it up. Is he going to make it work? He's not got much. He's got the inside line going into turn 1. He's not giving Break any space to move. There's a bit of contact. Short Marcus loses it. Short Marcus loses it. Mitch gets up into 5th behind Al Longo. HT does lose a bit of time, being compromised by Short Marcus losing it. However, has Short Marcus done his job to hold up a podium position? Break is running quid pro quo to Mitch. However, Al Longo still needs to pair. Al Longo is running on very old hard tyres. 17 laps in, he is going to struggle on these tyres, especially holding up the likes of Mitch. CDM driving brilliantly here. CDM, having retired in quali 2, is now 8 places up. El Longo 14 up, but he does still need to pair. However, CDM currently our DOTD, our driver of the day, having started in 15th position up to 7th. This is some fantastic driving by my fellow admin and good friend Carl. I'm so proud and happy for him. I'm hoping he's able to continue, and I'm not just giving him commentators guys, but we can see Mitch is just waiting for this DRS to kick in. He's not going to make an ambitious move. There we go. El Longo losing it. He's going to struggle. El Longo cannot force the pit here. No, I'm sorry, you can't do that. You cannot do that. Okay, it was on a clean, it ended up being a clean overtake by Mitch, but El Longo should not have made that move. That could have cost the drivers a lot of time there if he'd taken one of them out. But as we're seeing, oh man, I'm sorry, I'm so excited right now. 5 of the top 6 drivers are my drivers. This is, I thought this was going to be very close, and I'm hoping it will be, but this is fantastic. I'm so happy to see this right now. As we can see, there is currently a yellow flag at the end of sector 1. It looks like out of turn 4, but I'm not seeing any drivers having come off, so things as they stand. Max is first, Little Jim 6 seconds behind him, Brake a further 6 seconds behind Little Jim. Mitch is just 3 seconds behind Brake, and I have, will CDM have DRS? No, he will not, but will have DRS on Mitch. He is not using his overtake. He is being sensible here. I'm sure they're going to be able to see who is where. Top 5 drivers will see 3rd through 7th and be able to see the track map. So let's see how they react. But right now, the OBF1 Racing League, I do believe, are winning the battle between them and the F1 Fast Life Racing League. So let's see how it goes into the last 9 laps. I don't think I've ever been this excited commentating on a race, knowing that it is essentially an invitational grudge match to see whose league is better. So we've got iHalf with DRS. Mitch, big surprise, does not even put up a battle and lets his faster teammate with DRS through. iHalf now up into 4th. CDM down to 7th, battling. Oh, I'm going to have to watch this battle here. It looks like CDM and Adelambe battling hard. I'm going to sit on board with CDM now. He's got the inside line on Adelambe. He does not have DRS, but Adelambe does. Going into turn 5, CDM has the inside line. Adelambe really running him hard, sorry. And there was a slight collision there between Adelambe and CDM. Will that be reported? I'm not sure. However, CDM does now move up to 6th, now 9 places up on his start position. So, I think now it is a question of teamwork. We have got 5 of the top 6 drivers in the race. OBF1, Brake in 3rd, Adelambe in 7th, Ash in 8th, Short Marcus in 9th. They're going to have to make some work. They're going to have to, I think, excuse me, I think Brake is going to have to start compromising himself to allow his teammates of Adelambe, of Ash, to catch up, because right now as it sits, the OBF1 League are going to win this compounded. Like, HT is down 14 positions from his start place. I'm trying to see if that is because of stop. Yes, HT is pitted twice, as has Itzlu and Amin Leon. However, right now we do have, as we see, iHalf getting off the throttle there to allow Mitch through. There definitely seems to be some team orders in place in this league. I know there's been a lot of prep going into who's going to come out on top. Both leagues wanting to win, and I'm sure this is going to be the first of many running tier 1s and tier 2s. This has been a fantastic event, not just to watch but commentate on. Our currently highest driver on 2 stops is an F1 Fast Life Racing League driver in Oskit. Pitted early onto the medium tyres and then switched to the hards, pitting under the safety car onto the mediums, so sensible choice there, and then switching to the hards later on. Currently sitting in 10th position. The rest of the drivers who have suffered 2 stops are currently 16th, 17th and 18th. Amin, who does appear to be ghosting, I do believe Amin is ghosting, so he's been disconnected and his teammates have been unable to re-invite an idea for our next event. It's Lou coming around to mid sector 2 and HT just coming around to the end of sector 2 now. So, very surprisingly disappointing result here from HT, one of the fastest drivers in the league. Gonna now switch to the battle between Cyberspace, a last minute stand in for the OBF1 League to replace the great Zach Sweeney, who unfortunately had other commitments tonight, and El Longo, who has got DRS on Cyberspace. I know Cyberspace is not going to give this up easy. On the inside, El Longo locking up slightly but taking a position, and on the much faster tyres, I'm sure will not have any difficulty holding it. So guys, we've only got 7 laps left here of this race. Currently the top 10 positions dominated by OBF1 drivers. This is fantastic to see, but points paying up to 14th position, and the last point paying positions are the drivers who started on the hard tyres in El Longo and Stay Juventino. Matt Chandler up in 12th, a newcomer to the OBF1 league, but having previously known him from the Delta Pace Racing League, know he's quick, know he's a good driver and a fair and safe driver, which is what we all appreciate in this racing. It's none of us are ever going to be pros, but we appreciate good quality hard racers, which is what essentially it is all about. So I'm just now looking at comments. So Ronnie Voss, for everyone a good race. Thank you very much, Ronnie. I hope you're enjoying the commentary and you're still tuning in. We've got 7 people tuning in right now, so thanks very much for tuning in, guys. Currently only 2 retirements in this 20-man field, which is fantastic. Bahrain, not a track known for its retirement, but it is so easy. There are so many turns you can lose it at. And I remember a race I was involved in where first and second retired in the first lap of themselves. So unfortunately collided out of turn 13. But we are now on lap 23 of 29. We're going to sit on board with our... Oh, I saw an interesting battle there between CDM, who's right on the back of F1, MD Ale Lambe for 6th and 7th. Now, I think Ale Lambe has made a move past CDM, because if I remember correctly, CDM was not too far back from iHarv and is now sitting 4 seconds behind him, not being able to give up the pace of Mitch, and iHarv. CDM has dropped back, has fallen sick, and has fallen victim to Ale Lambe, who I believe is either top or top 2 of the F1 Fast Life Racing League. So a fantastic drive here by CDM just to keep up with Ale Lambe, and still I do believe he is in position to receive DOTD, driver of the day, which yes he is, having gained 8 positions. The next highest drivers having gained positions are Chandler, Stay and Longo, have all gained 4 positions. So a fantastic drive here by CDM, keeping it clean, keeping it fair, progressing through the field, doing what I would call a pistol racing performance, starting from the back and just progressing through with solid defending and good attacking. So a fantastic performance here by CDM, who has utilised all of his ERS as we have going into lap 24 for these drivers. Now we've got Max is coming up to his first overlap in Admin 69 Leon, who is ghosting, has disconnected from the session, and unfortunately has not been invited back, because I do believe all of his teammates are still racing and haven't AI'd to re-invite him, unfortunately. So that is that. Now, we've got retirement from the race, and it's Lou. Lou has lost it out of, and we have got a VSC. That could have been interesting if it had brought our full-blown safety car. So the way it's retirement, it looks like that is a very... I'm looking forward to seeing this if Lou is still on the track. So I'm on board with Cyberspace, as we can all see now, who's sitting 17th at the moment. Some good driving Cyberspace, having battled hard. We're not going to see it, but it does look like Lou lost it in the home straight. So I'm not quite sure what happened there. So there were no turns there. So still under VSC conditions. I'm going to be right back, guys. I do just need to utilise the trailer. We will be racing again very shortly here, with just 4 laps to go here, or 5 laps to go. The Sakir Grand Prix at the Bahrain International Circuit between the OBF1 and F1 Fast Life Racing League. I will be right back, guys. My mic was off for that. Hey guys, I'm back, so sorry about that. So we are now down to the last 5 laps of the race. Let's see where Max is sitting right now. as he comes through. So Max having just crossed the line going into lap 26 of 29 here at the Sakir International Circuit in Bahrain. Currently 7 seconds ahead of his title challenger in the OBF1 Friday League in Little Jim, and Break FN and further 7 seconds behind. Now F1 Adelambe is catching on iHalf slowly but surely, but he is catching on iHalf, who is sticking within DRS range of Mitch. Now I guess the question here is, will Mitch and iHalf work together so that Adelambe, who is one of the fastest drivers in the F1 Fast Life Racing League, work together so that iHalf keeps DRS range of Mitch? I think that's going to be crucial here, to stop Adelambe closing in on iHalf, because once iHalf loses that DRS capability, obviously it's going to play a big difference in his lap times. So, sorry about that guys, I'm getting distracted by my father, who I sound too much alike. Anywho, so we are now going into lap 27 for iHalf and Mitch, now both staying very close to one another. Yes, that's what I said. Adelambe unable to gain any time there on iHalf, who will have DRS here on Mitch. They are working together superbly, making sure, knowing that this is not an individual battle, it is a team race, and that is what we are working towards. We are going to be the best league in Formula 1, so let's see how this goes. We're going into the last 3 laps now. We've had only 3 retirements in 27 laps, and we've got 7 drivers with penalties. Let's have a look at the penalty situation. We know how much penalties can play a factor in it. So CDM 3.1 seconds behind Adelambe, but Adelambe does have a 3-second penalty. That would be a fantastic achievement for CDM, who's already on for driver of the day. As we see, a yellow flag in sector 2, and it is one of the F1 Fast Life Racing drivers. I believe it to have been El Longo, who has spun out and has dropped to 14th on the track. So El Longo looking like he's lost time, but let's sit on board with this battle for 10th. We've got David, we've got Matt Chandler, and we've got Stay Juventino. Now David has got 8 seconds penalty, Matt has got 3 seconds, so Stay doing fantastic well here already. And we'll be moving up to 10th based on these penalty situations. So with just 2 laps to go here for the drivers, let's sit on board with Matt. I want to watch Matt here doing a fantastic job here, having gone out I believe in Q1. Matt, yeah, having gone out in Q1 in 16th position, having made his way up to 11th. He's got DRS on David, but is unable to make a manoeuvre on David there. However, up 5 places. However, the standout driver of the day once again is CDMJW. Fantastic drive by Carl, having started in 15th position, retiring out of quali 2 without setting it out. He is in 7th, a fantastic point scoring position. As we can see, Marcus is just 2.6 seconds behind him, but Marcus does have Oscar Junior 5 on his tail. 1.2 seconds separate the drivers, so he's not within DRS range yet, but he's very close to it. However, he does have a penalty. The drivers are keeping it clean here. Not many penalties out on this track tonight, so we've got just 6 sets of penalties in Longo, Ashfitz, Matt Chandler, David, Oscar and F1 Adelambe. So only actually, I'm looking at a split and I'm seeing a 5-1 split on penalties in favour for the OBF1 League. So only 1 driver in the OBF1 League has a penalty, and that is Matt Chandler with only 3 seconds. So this is fantastic news as we are heading into the final lap. And you know what? Let's pay homage. Max, I put him as one of the potential winners of this race. He's coming in sector 2. He has led most of the race. He has done a fantastic job. And we are now going to watch his last lap. See, Matt Chandler has now got past David. As we can see, an OBF1 driver has come off. Who is this driver that's come off? I am not sure where am I. So it's going to be further up. It's going to be. It's not Harv. It's not C. Is it CDM? It might be CDM. I'm thinking it's actually Mitch. I'm thinking, yeah, no, I think it's Mitch. Mitch has come off, I think, and lost some time with I have now right on his back. But anyway, let's get back on board with who is going to be our race winner. Max is coming across the final corner, and Max 33 JV 2005, proud member of the OBF1 community, takes the checkered flag here at the Bahrain International Circuit and secures 40 vital points towards the battle for 148 here as Little Jim crosses the line for second. We're now going to watch Break moving towards and gaining the final podium position. So 73 points of the 148 are required to win this have been secured in the top 2 positions. I mean, I'm looking at the top 10. I think it speaks for itself. I think it does. This has been compounding victory for the OB F1 Racing League over F1 Fast Life Racing League. So, my name is Pete W. I want to say thank you to everyone watching tonight, those who love Formula 1 and those that are just watching to hear me, Rachel. So thank you so much for watching, guys. This is Pete W. We are now going to confirm the positions of the race and take it from there. So we're now looking at the driver of the day, Steve Ventino. He did do an amazing job. I will give Steve that. As we see our man Max taking the trophy here at Bahrain, followed by Little Jim and Break FN for second and third position. The Dutchman taking the win, followed by 2 Brits. Fantastic job there by all of the drivers there to secure a race win and podiums. So CDM having gained 8 places and Stay having gained 7. Stay getting voted as driver of the day by Codemasters. So there, a brilliant effort by all drivers. But to confirm the top 14, we've got Max in first, Little Jim second, Break in third, Mitch in fourth, iHarv in fifth, LA Lambe in 6th, CDM in 7th, Short Marcus in 8th, Oscar in 9th, Stay in 10th, Matt Chandler in 11th, David in 12th, Ash Fitz in 13th, and El Longo rounding off the points situation for the OBF1 versus F1 Fast Life Racing League Invitational Special Event here at the Sakir International Circuit in Bahrain. I am Pete W. And thank you so much for joining in and watching the stream, guys. I hope you've all enjoyed it. I know I have. This has been a fantastic night of quality, fast-paced racing. I have enjoyed it untoward. So thank you so much. We can see the fastest lap did go to HT, but being outside the top 40 will not gain that point for the fastest lap. So my name is Pete W, signing off here. Thank you so much for tuning in, guys. I hope you've enjoyed the racing as much as I have, and I cannot wait for our next event, either with F1 Fast Life or any other racing leagues if you were watching or do decide to watch, guys. So thank you so much for joining in. I am Pete W, and now I am signing out. Have a great night, guys. Bye.